Right, earlier today I posted a video talking about some cards I picked up from Kaervek, my local LGS, and I thought what I'd do is I'd show the cards that have homes in their homes so we could look at them holistically, so you can see what I'm hoping to get out of them, why I put them in. So we'll start off with Kaervek the Merciless. Kaervek is an artillery deck where most of the damage is going to be standoff. Kaervek doesn't care about the combat phase. He just cares about my opponent's casting spells. So he costs 5, 1 black, 1 red for a 5/4 human shaman. Whenever an opponent plays a spell, he deals damage to target creature or player equal to that spell's CMC. Heavy. So the card he got, the new card, is Cool the Unrepentant. Adjust this damn camera. There we go. So cool. As I talked about in the mail call video, or showing the cards that I obtained, I was at the Thunder Junction Mass Opening event from LGS. They put out a call, let people know, hey, if you come, we'll give you some. It was low. I'm not gonna lie, it was low money, but you got a bonus for if you took the compensation store credit. So they paid a rate per case opened, and then they paid another rate per 4-row long box sorted by color. So I did one long box and I opened 2 cases. So I opened 12 boxes of Thunder Junction. And I saw this guy. And I stopped. I was trying to go through it as fast as possible so I can get as much money as possible by opening as many boxes as possible, but I stopped when I saw this guy. Oh, this is, yeah, cool and kind of weird looking. Okay, black, red, 5/5 flying trample. Okay, what's the downside? There's no downside. The fuck, I don't have to sacrifice anything. I don't have to discard a card at random. I don't have to jump through any hoops. No bullshit. I play black, red, and I get a 5/5 flying trampler. That's it. Wow. Power creep is a bitch. And he does something else. Sack through the creatures. You may, well, if you sack through the creatures, you're probably going to put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. But you can only do this as a sorcery and only once per turn. Wow. Talk about a limiting factor. Jesus Christ. So, the card that he replaced, and it was kind of it was more painless than I expected. I took out Phyrexian Obliterator. I had obtained after a long time of wanting to get one, but not wanting to pay the 35 euros that people were charging for him. I got a foil Phyrexian Obliterator, and I wanted to run it, so I shoved it into Kaervek. I forget what I took out for it. It was months ago. And Phyrexian Obliterator is not what Kaervek wants to do. I don't want creatures that need to attack in order to do anything. Yeah, somebody can attack, I can block, but if they see the Obliterator, they're going to hit me with a flyer or some kind of invasion. They're not dumb enough to attack into it. Unless they want to sacrifice things, which is possible. So anyway, this guy, main problem with Kaervek, he costs 7, and he gets killed a lot. He's only 4 toughness. So the deck is designed to get him out, keep him out as much as possible, and this guy helps. So if Kaervek dies, let's see, how many ways do I have of getting him back in my hand? Not that guy. Command Beacon. So one use, I can sack Command Beacon, put my commander into my hand from my command zone, sack 3 creatures to this bastard, and cast him. Play him. Not really cast, but play him. Voja Stronghold. Put Kaervek from the graveyard back on top of my library. Draw that card. Sack 3 creatures with a cool. Of course, Coffin Queen can just rip Kaervek out of the graveyard, and if he gets exiled, okay, he goes back into command zone. Who cares? And what would I sacrifice? Well, I've got this guy. Comes into play with a buddy. They're there to be sacrificed. He's got Echo anyway, so... Who else? This guy comes into play with 2 buddies. So if I play him, bang, I've got a cool. And then I've got other cards that, if I want to crash them into play, let's say I'm at turn, I've got him down on turn 4, and there's other stuff I want to play. I want to get some mana rocks down. I want to keep mana up for dual caster mage, because I'm worried about somebody throwing out a Cyclonic Rift. Well, I can sacrifice creatures to get Terror of the Peaks in play. He's not really that interesting enough to sack 3 creatures for, nor is he. Yeah, there's my dual caster mage. Not really Grave Titan. He's interesting enough to do that. Goldspan Dragon, and he creates zombies, so there's creatures to sacrifice for cool. Do I have anything down here? Well, I mean, that's why we play Solemn Simulacrum, isn't it? We play him to get a land and get him killed so we can draw a card, right? But I don't think anybody uses him any other way. What else? Well, Kinky Jinky, he can make a copy of something and it has to be exiled at the end of turn, so I can sacrifice it to value. This is the other change I made to Kaervek, is purely cosmetic. I had a World Wake Basilisk Collar, and I saw Eternal Vertige had these for a lot cheaper than I expected them to be, so I got one. Full art foil, and it's more evil looking, fits more with the Kaervek kind of theme. Sting Scourger, yeah, sacrifice him because he has Echo, so he plays. If you don't play these, so you play red and you don't play Sting Scourger, I highly encourage you to do so, especially if all the people you're playing with run newer cards and newer decks. They're going to say, red does what? It bounces creatures? When the hell did this happen? And you can say, 15 years ago. So he comes into play, returns a creature and opponent controls back to his hand, and then he's got Echo, so you might as well sacrifice him to not worry about it. Yeah, sacrifice him. Let's see, he's somebody I would want to get out early. So on turn 4, if I've got some sacrifice creatures I don't care about, and I play it cool, and I've got Mikaeus in my hand, yeah, he's coming down. Yeah, the more I think about it, the more excited I am to get that. And he was cheap. A cool was, I think the foil one is 70 crowns, which is less than €4. About $5 for a foil one. The full art foil is only, I don't think it's even half again more. Wow, so pretty cool. Yeah, Inferno Titan, drop him early. Massacre Worm, yeah. Siege Gang Commander, he brings 3 dudes that can be sacrificed. Kakusho, yeah. Bring her down early. In the next turn, use her to sacrifice. Yeah. This is going to be good. So anyway, that's Kaervek. Let's look at the changes to another deck. Where is Muldrotha? Close that box. So the next deck that got changed, actually, we're going to Voja. Muldrotha is another box, so I just grabbed Voja. Right, so Voja is a house. My God, he's fun to play. Been having a great time with him. Let me turn this. So, I don't want to have music in the background that's going to get me a copyright strike. Not that I'm making any money off this, but I just don't like the idea of it. So anyway, Voja, he's been a lot of fun so far. Shalai and Halar, when we won game outright, I think I was going to win that game anyway, though. I was in a good position, and I was cracking on. So anyway, what did I change with Voja? I put a card in here that I'm going to get a lot of shit for when I play it, and the genie's there. Where is he? There he is. Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. So, I don't like Universes Beyond. I don't like mixing outside franchises, outside worlds with magic. I like that they have their own worlds, they have their own places, their own stories, even though they're pissing all over them now and not really giving a shit about the story. And there's some of them that really turn me off. Warhammer, didn't like that at all. Fallout, I never play the games. Even if I did, I would not like Fallout in Magic. Go make a Fallout game. Just make a card game. Just make a spin-off card game with kind of the same rules and have fun that way. Don't bring that shit. I don't want a fucking radioactive wise Mothman making me mill. It's bullshit. But I do love The Princess Bride. It is a sword and sorcery fantasy epic. Has the greatest sword fight that has ever been filmed. And thinking about it, I could really see the story being in a magic world. I'm thinking Eldraine. So imagine this: you've got the 5 kingdoms of Eldraine. Let's say, and you can gender bend it so wizards can do some of their woke bullshit. So you have Iara playing the role of Humperdinck. So Iara marries a prince from Vantris with the idea of killing him on their wedding night in order to start a war. And then you've got the furry mercenaries. The big guy would have to be a giant, a no-shit giant. The swordsman, I guess he could be a knight, a fallen knight, and then, or just a rogue, maybe a fairy rogue even. And then the wise guy should be a wizard. Anyway, just like in the film, these 3 guys go to abduct the princess so they can kill her and start a war. And then you've got the pirate, which pirates are in the game now. So you'd have the Dread Pirate and whoever. But basically, they could take the story of the Princess Bride and make it a magic story. Make it a story in Eldraine. Or Dominaria doesn't really feel right for it. Tarkir. I could see that sort of thing on Tarkir because of the factional alliances, the factional suspicions. So I could see a Princess Bride type story rather easily on Tarkir. But anyway, so let's get back to what this guy is. So he's really Samit, voice of dissent. Go look at a picture of Samit. Go just pause the video, go look it up. He looks like he's constipated. It looks like he's having some kind of acute gastrointestinal attack and he's bent over in agony. I don't like the art. It's too dark, too indistinct. But I wanted the effect. And what I had done previously to get the effect is I took Urabrask out of Aurelia, which is still in build phase. She is still not finished. Still wanting to get her own Skull Clamp, Dockside Extortionist, and Nykthos Shrine-to-Nyx. Ideally, I would also like to give her a Sacred Foundry and an Arid Mesa, but I don't see those as necessary as the other 3. And since they're all expensive, I can only find them on Magic Card Market. My local game shop, Chernobyl, doesn't have full copies in the treatment I want. So I have to wait for somebody to buy my stuff on Magic Card Market in order to fund the finalization of Aurelia. In light of all this, I figured it's going to take me a while to build her. I might as well take her Urabrask and give it to Voja. Problem with Urabrask is that double red. Sometimes that double red would trip me up. And it just didn't feel right in the deck. So when I was looking up other cards that give me haste, this guy came up as Samut. And I was like, yeah, and I remember wanting this card anyway because it's Princess Bride and wanting it just for the art. So I'll go ahead and get it for the art and for the game effect. So 3 green-red, 3/4 flasher, double strike, vigilance, haste. Other creatures get haste, and I expend 1 white and tap into the target creature. So he does a lot more than Urabrask does. my opponent's creatures coming into play tapped, that really doesn't matter as much as it used to. It seems like years ago that mattered a lot more, but not these days. And also the other advantage of having Samut over Urabrask is I can find him. I can find him if I can find it, which I'm having trouble finding it, the card that finds him. Oh, this is great in this deck. This Semester's End and Ghostway are represented to save my creatures from a board wipe, and I even cast Semester's End in response to my own Wrath of God last game, and well, I thought it was funny. The other lads didn't seem to find her. Anyway, I've got a Green Sun Zenith in this stack somewhere. I've got a Green Sun Zenith, 1 green, X. Go find a green creature with CMC X or less and put it in play. So if I Green Sun Zenith for a total of 6, 5X, 1 green, I can find Inigo and put him into play so he can get revenge for his father. Right. So let's go to the last deck that really changed yesterday. Phoenix changed a lot, but he changed so much, it's his own video. I have completely re-engineered Phoenix. Don't know if it's going to work. Looks like a lot of fun. Looking forward to playing him in the next at the next session. But don't know if it's going to work the way I expect. So what did Muldrotha? So Muldrotha is my graveyard deck. Muldrotha started as Marin. Marin of Clan Telnoth. Marin is green-black, 2 colors, so 4. I believe she's a 3/4 human shaman. And she says whenever a creature dies, you get an experience counter. At the end of your turn, look at your experience counters and choose a creature in the graveyard. If it's equal to or less the number of experience counters you have, put it in play. If it's more, put it in your hand. So I had this as a graveyard deck. The problem is, she can't protect her graveyard. The only card she has to protect her graveyard is Witchbane Orb at the time. So when Muldrotha got spoiled, and there's blue, and I can have Trickbind, I can have Stifle, I can have Disallow, I can have Void Slime. Alright, so I'm doing something, I'm having another graveyard deck, but one that can actually protect its graveyard, because if you're playing Muldrotha, or Mirren, or any of these graveyard decks, basically your graveyard becomes a second hand. And if somebody exiles that hand, it puts a dampener on your strategy. It really bites your biscuits. You don't want to get your biscuits bitten, do you? No, of course not. Nobody wants that. So where is the damn card that... Yeah, there it is. Doesn't cost anything. Timeless Witness. So, in the rebuild of Phoenix, I decided I wanted an Archaeomancer. I really don't have that many in my decks. I have two Archaeomancers, and one was in Muldrotha. And I remember one time I used it. One time so this is back when I was still playing Villainous. God damn it! Villainous Wealth. Villainous Wealth is X, black, blue, green. Spend X, look at the top X cards of target opponent's library, and you can play one spell equal to X for free. It had gone to my graveyard, so I played Archaeomancer, returned that sorcery to my hand, and cast it. Cast Villainous Wealth, and it did something, I forget what it did even. I just remember doing it, and my opponent not liking it because of what happened. Anyway, I had Archaeomancer in here. And Archaeomancer kind of stayed because of the memory of that play, the memory of that game. Even though I could have replaced the Timeless Witness a couple years ago when it never occurred to me. And now, looking at the Archaeomancer and wanting it for Phoenix. So Timeless Witness, switching it from blue to green because it costs the same. They're both 2 colorless. Archaeomancer is blue-blue, she's green-green. Archaeomancer is a 1-2, she's a 2-1. And she returns any card. Any card from her graveyard to my hand. So she's better for Muldrotha. So I'm actually improving the deck by stealing a card for another one, shuffling things around. And I wonder, as time goes forward, how many more of these duplicate effects are we going to see? Are they going to have... So they wanted a Timeless Witness that looked like it's on Amonkhet. Are they going to do another reimagining of the card with another ability to make it unique? And then I could have 3 Eternal Witnesses in the deck? Are they going to do something like that? Are they going to do some other variation on Secure Tribe Elder? At what point do our decks get so choked with the possibilities of essentially the same card that we start losing the flavor of the deck? We start losing the identity of the deck because it's just like everyone else's. I mean, my version of Muldrotha, there's another lad that plays with us. He's got a Muldrotha deck, and his is quite different than mine. I'm kind of surprised that we don't have more overlap. His deck is mill everybody. My deck is dredge myself, because milling everybody irritates some people. And if I just mill myself, they can see what's happening. And if they don't fully understand what's happening, and they just, oh, he's filling his graveyard, then they're not as threatened. If I mill everybody, and somebody at the table is the kind of player who doesn't like that, they'll feel threatened and they'll start coming after me. And Muldrotha needs a little bit of setup time. She's resilient, she's strong, but she does need a little bit of setup time. And if I don't get that setup time, a lot of times I lose. Next change I need to make for her, I've got another Tishana's Tidebinder sitting around doing nothing. I thought about putting it in Muldrotha. There's nothing I feel like I need to take out for it. I thought about Overtaker, taking out Overtaker. Let me show you what that is, because hardly any of you know what an Overtaker is. Excuse me. So this is an Overtaker. Old card from Mercadian Mass. So 1 and a blue for a 1/1 Spell Shaper. That was the creature type. Yep, Spell Shaper. 3 blue, tap, throw away card, gain control of target creature until end of turn. It gains haste till end of turn. So I just have him in here to be funny. Her, she's the Overtaker, he's the Overtaken. I have her in here to be funny. So, everybody, okay, attack with these. Oh, no. You declare your combat step first, and then we can do things. Alright, okay, I declare combat. Right. Well, this guy, I'm going to overtake so you can't attack me with him. And then I can block your other big guy, and they both can die. How do you like that? Oh, okay. I declare combat, you take the guy, nothing attacks. I've seen that happen before. Anyway, I'm starting to go off on Muldrotha when it was really just about the new cards. So those are the new cards I put in. Those are some of the ideas for the deck. Like I said, Phoenix, done a lot of changes to him. Looking forward to showing you those changes. Looking forward to getting the input, because I've gone back in time. I've gone back to the old ways with Phoenix. And it could be fun, or it could fall on my face. I don't know.